Hey, this is Rich. Welcome back. I just finished my 29th week on Wegovy. I took my 30th shot, if I can count, my 30th shot just a few minutes ago. And I'm kind of smiling right now because I had forgotten to take my shot, and when I was filming the first go around, I realized that I said I took the shot and I hadn't done it yet. So thank you for reminding me to take my shot. That was very nice of you. I think that's important to take your shot at the same time each week. I know some people just kind of fit it in. I know one person who actually sets their alarm on their phone to remind them, and that tells them that they need to take the shot at that moment. Not that it has to be taken at exactly the same time every week, but by taking it at the same time, finding your routine and making sure it's part of that routine, you don't forget, because it's really easy to forget. It's a once a week deal. My medication is stored in the refrigerator, so it's out of sight, out of mind. So it'd be easy to forget. So my advice is try to take it at the same time each week. Make it part of a regular routine. So this was the Saturday after New Year's. And remember, I said the danger zone was Halloween through New Year's. It was a tough period of time, right? It was up until that point, I was losing weight pretty easily. And this last 5 weeks, I've had to work pretty hard at it. And the weeks that didn't involve a gathering of any kind was easier, obviously. So I was able to just kind of scoot through those. And the ones where there was gatherings, whether it was Thanksgiving or Christmas or even now New Year's, we get together on New Year's too. That was a little tougher. Not as tough this week though, and I'm trying to figure out why. So last week I didn't lose any weight, I didn't gain any weight, but I worked really hard going into Christmas. I worked really hard going out of Christmas, and I went, whoo! I didn't gain any weight, and I really thought I was going to because I had ravioli lasagna and ham and spaghetti and all the things that you would say, oh boy, you're in trouble this week. But at New Year's, what we had was steak and shrimp, and I thought, boy, that's actually a really healthy meal to have, especially if you're trying to diet. And I didn't have all the accoutrements that you would think, so we didn't have. I had a sweet potato instead of baked potato or French fries. We had a salad and stuff like that. And then for New Year's, which we got together and were watching the football games, there was chips and dip and candy left over from Christmas, cookies left over for Christmas, and I partook in that. I had some of that. But I also made sure that I brought a lot of fruit. So I went to Costco, and instead of getting one of those fruit platters, I just got all the ingredients that fruit platter is made up of, which is, cantaloupe, honeydew melon, strawberries, blueberries. We had some carrots and celery and bell pepper, and put that all together. And by the way, it's scary. It cost me 1/4 as much as the cut up stuff, and it took me a few minutes to cut that stuff up. So I know every guy out there saying, I'm not going to cut that up. Well, you know what? To save 15, 16 bucks out of 20, I think you would. I think when you realize that what's in the platter it's less than a quarter of a melon. It's only a couple of stalks of celery and some carrots. I'm sorry, but if you could do something for 2, 3, 4 minutes, and that's about all it takes, and save 15 bucks, I'll do it every time. I didn't realize how much a markup there was on that. And granted, it is a big time saver. And if you're busy doing other stuff, wholeheartedly support you going and buying a fruit platter, a veggie platter from Costco or from one of the stores. But if you have just a few minutes, you're going to save a lot of money. So that's my advice to you. I was very careful what I ate going into New Year's. I was very careful what I ate going out of New Year's. Didn't pay much attention, not too much attention at New Year's. But what I do realize is that while I still had plenty of chips and dip, I did. and I had pieces of candy. I had multiple pieces of candy. Before, I would get one of those family size bags. Remember those bags that used to be they were just a regular bag of potato chips, and they had a big bag. But not Costco now, but the stores would have a big bag. They call it a party bag. Well, now they call the party bag the little bag because of shrinkflation. And so, and so it would be 13, 14 ounces, the typical bag of Doritos or the typical bag of Ripple chips. I would fairly routinely just eat the whole bag, right? I would get a big bag of sour cream with Lipton onion soup, mix it together. Or if I was not that ambitious, I would get top potato and just kind of mix it up so it's all loosened up, and just tip my chip in there, and I'd eat the whole thing of top potato, and I'd eat the whole bag of potato chips. And I do that pretty routinely, especially while I was watching football. So, you wonder how do you get to the size he was? Well, that's how you do it, right? You just go crazy, and you just mindlessly eat while you're watching TV or talking to people. So I didn't do that. I did have a couple of servings of potato chips with dip, but that was it. And the bag did not go home with me. So I think that's why it made it a little easier for the week. I don't know. And also, I think the meal was a whole lot healthier this time from a dieting standpoint. Doesn't mean that I'm going to change our traditions for Christmas, because that's our family tradition. And we're going to have lasagna or ravioli lasagna and spaghetti for our Christmas Eve meal. And that's just what we're going to do. And I have to just understand that. Anyhow, I forgot to tell you last week, I had written a letter to Santa. And I said, "Dear Santa, there's nothing I'd like better than a big screen TV." And so he gave me nothing. Thanks, Santa. And Santa did one better. All the elves were on the top of the roof at the North Pole, because Santa had told them drinks were on the house. Yeah, Santa. Anyway, you didn't come to hear me tell jokes. You came to find out how I did this week. And like I said, it was actually an easier week. And I think the big thing was because the working hard in and out of New Year's, and then the meal itself was very healthy. And so the only unhealthy things were the potato chips I ate, and some of the candy I ate, and the cookies I ate. And again, there's a lot of them, but still, it wasn't bad. It was a pretty reasonable effort on my part. So this week I lost 1 pound. I'm down a total of 89 pounds. I'm not giving it back. I'll see you next week.